I want to do a little reel with you guys. You're going to say, systems are sexy, okay? So get cute. Get cute, you know, whatever you need to do. Systems are sexy! She has been in the real estate business for over 17 years. In her career, she has sold over 2,000 homes. The back that makes the front move. I want to introduce Carla Novello. Thank you. Yes. This is where I started. This is little baby Carla. This is the person you have to picture who walks into her first day of work with her then fiance, who is working in basically a little closet. Think dingy, no windows, map tacked onto the wall because there was no GPS or smartphones back then. So I come into my first day of work and Aaron is prospecting feverishly. If you know Aaron, you can picture this. And I go to him, okay, I'm ready to be trained, I wanna know what to do. And he basically looked at me and said, you know, I'm really busy, so you're just gonna have to figure it out. So what I had to do was go around the office and ask agents, what do you do? What is real estate? I didn't even know really what real estate was. I knew they sold houses, but what does that mean? What do you do? So that is how I started my basic systems. And if you don't have a system, you are the system. So fast forward, in 5 years, we're doing 100+ deals a year. 4 years after that, we're doing 200 deals per year with a skeleton crew. And we've sold, like she said, more than 2,000 homes in our career.
Yeah!
The reason I tell you this is because I know that anyone can double their sales with the right systems. So today we're going to talk about the 3 S's of systems. Number 1, simplify. Simplify means make less mistakes. Anyone here besides me make a mistake that costs them money?
Yes.
Same. Sales. The purpose of systems is to increase your sales. Anyone besides me want to do more sales and make more money?
Yeah. Money! Like Aaron always screams out, money!
Same.
We're missing him, aren't we?
I know. We are, but the ladies are taking over today.
Yes, we are.
And the third is to scale, is to teach people how to do what you're doing so you can duplicate and so you can work out of real estate. Anyone besides me not want to sell real estate till they're 80?
Woohoo!
Same. So simplify. The first basic thing to do is to come up with workflows for each of your processes. So that means, what do you do before the appointment? What do you do after the appointment? What do you do when you take the listing? What do you do when it goes pending? What do you do when it closes? And what do you do after it closes? And I know that the P word is a bad word here, okay? Paper. We're not supposed to use paper, but if you need to put these down on paper so you can visualize it, do it. Because that way you can see, where are the holes? What's not getting done? And also, who is supposed to do each thing? Because eventually you're not going to want to do it all yourself. When I started, I was the transaction coordinator. I was the one who took the pictures. I was the one who did the CMAs. I was the one who put everything into MLS. And guess what? I got burnt out real quick. And once I had kids, it wasn't sustainable. So putting your workflow down on paper is step 1. And number 2 is the CRM. It took us so long to get a CRM, it's almost embarrassing. Because we thought it was a waste of time. We thought, oh, it's just a place where you put your contacts. Like, I had stuff in Drive, I had stuff in Gmail, I had stuff all over the place. But what the CRM allows you to do is to have everything in one place. And Gabriella's really gonna get into the nitty-gritty of it, but the CRM can have your documents, your contacts, all your email templates, your checklists, your scripts, literally everything in one place. And if you have a team, if you have staff, you can see what they're doing and not have to micromanage them, which is amazing. Complexity fails and simplicity scales. Keep it simple, especially if you're a newer agent. Don't try to do everything at once. We have been doing this for 17 years, and we would implement one thing per quarter. So don't get overwhelmed. I know it's a lot, but we didn't do it all at once. So just keep that in mind. Sales, the sexy part. Everybody wants to do more sales. The systems are not that, people don't usually think that the systems are sexy except for us.
We think they're really really sexy, okay?
Because the only way you're going to do more sales. The only way you're going to do more sales is with better systems, okay? As a buyer's agent or a listing agent, your only job is plan, prospect, lead follow-up, go on appointments, negotiate deals. Anything else is not supposed to be your job. So I don't know if this was at Aaron's peak or just at some point in his career, he figured out his dollar per hour when he was prospecting. Has anybody else done this? Okay, so he figured out at some point, I don't know if this is the highest, but it was around $200 per hour when he prospected. So what that shows you is that anything less than that is a steal if you're delegating it to someone else. If you're gonna pay someone $10, $15, $20 an hour to do something, it's a steal if it's gonna let you do those things and make 200. And if you're not making 200, even if you're making 50, 60, it's a bargain. So that's important to note. Delegate, I wrote down a list of the things that I would delegate first.
Delegate it all, everything.
Everything that's not the plan. Okay, so number one is calls. Anybody have their cell phone in the MLS? Camila went like this.
Yeah.
We never had our personal cell phone in the MLS because that is just asking for trauma, for PTSD, okay? Most of the calls that you're getting from agents are, how old is the roof? When was the AC replaced? Like, those are calls that are just wasting your time. And I see nods back there.
What's the HOA payment?
What does it cover?
Exactly.
Showing instructions. They're there. Just read.
Most of it's already in MLS, okay? So it's very easy to delegate that task to a VA or an administrative assistant. I would say,
And when you take off your number, get ready for the complaints from the association.
yeah,
Because I've gotten a bunch already.
that's fine.
So,
It's not their business, it's your business.
No, for sure.
And at the end of the day, whatever works for you is the way you gotta
that's
do
why I
it.
don't care. I'm like, keep on bringing the complaints.
Exactly.
I don't care. My number's not there for a reason.
Exactly. Number two is a showing service. If you're trying to go to all the showings or coordinate all the showings, you're just an extra person that is getting in the scheduling. If you're just scheduling a buyer's agent and their buyer, that's two people. But now if you're trying to put yourself in the mix, it's just creating complication and taking time from you. So the MLS offers a showing service that is very economical in my opinion. Anyone else use the showing service?
Showing time? You mean showing time?
Yeah, showing time. Yeah,
They-
some people don't. They actually take all the calls and schedule it themselves, or they say that they have to be there. So that is definitely a no-go. Number three is the photographer. I promise, I know you guys think you take amazing pictures. I promise the photographer takes way better pictures, okay? The photographer also does not want you to be there. When you're there, they're like, ah. And pro tip, you can actually form a relationship with your photographer and have them put the lockbox on for you. So what we did is we shipped the lockboxes directly to the photographer. They would come pick up the key at my house. They would go put the lockbox on themselves, take the pictures. I just saved money on a runner and time. There are many properties that Aaron and I never went to. We took the listing over the phone. We never saw the property in person. The photographer sent us the pictures. I could see what it had, wrote the description, sold it, done. Efficiency. You like that? Yes, it's possible. Number four is a transaction coordinator. This is per deal, like invaluable. They get paid when it closes. And we've had a transaction coordinator for 15 years. She's amazing. If you guys want her information, I will gladly give it to you. And she saved deals that we could not have saved. They know about title. They know about lending. They know about real estate. They, I promise, are better than you.
Tell the story about the cockfighting ring.
So we were selling this house in Hialeah, and needless to say, it was Hialeah, and we were on vacation, and all of a sudden we get a call. It's like, okay, we're at closing, but like we're doing the walkthrough, and what are you going to do about this cockfighting ring in the backyard? And we're like, what? Yeah, there's a whole cockfighting ring in the back with roosters, pens, the whole shebang. And our transaction coordinator took it upon herself. She hired a company to go demolish it. She paid for it, and at closing got reimbursed while we were away. Like, that's the type of thing that is invaluable. Number 5, listing coordinator, putting the listings in MLS. Like, why are you doing this yourself? If every time you took a listing, you could just throw it behind you and everything would be taken care of, how many more listings would you be able to take? That's the mentality. It's like, my time is spent here on the plan. Everything else, I just want to throw it back. And that might not be possible if you're brand new, but with time, you do a little at a time. We delegated maybe one of these per year. Really, they coincided with the kids. Like, once I had my first kid, I delegated this one. Second kid, this one. Because you can't do it all. And you're not going to get to 200 deals if you're going to do it all. Number 6 is CMAs. And I know this is a touchy subject because agents think that they are like God's gift to CMAs, that the way that they do it is the only way it can be done. And I promise you that you can train someone to do a CMA just as good as you can, and that it's a lot simpler than you think, because you have to think of who you're presenting to. You're presenting to a seller. Sellers don't know price per square foot or this or that. They don't know any of that. You have to really dumb it down, for lack of a better word. So what we would do is we would just send them a few actives, a few pendings, a few closed in a PDF. Aaron would bring it on his iPad and he would show them with all the pictures so they could see and do his presentation. That was it. That's not hard to teach, guys. You look up the neighborhood, find a few actives, a few pendings, a few closed. Put it in a PDF. If you want an example, reach out to me and I will send it to you. Very simple. And it just takes so little time. Well, it takes so much time of your time. When you set a listing appointment and now you have to do the CMA, imagine if you could just give it to someone else. And last but not least is CRM, which is Gabriella's bread and butter. I'm going to introduce Gabriella because she's going to really get into the details. Gabriella, who is my sister, used to work for the Art Museum in Fort Lauderdale. And she was in charge of all of the artifacts, all of the art. And she was a database specialist. Because can you imagine all those little tiny pieces, like where they're from, what year they're from? That was her thing. So when she came on the team, she basically told me that my database was shit. And I believed her.
It was like what Aaron says, like, I'm telling you this with love, but your database is shit.
So she's the one who made it to what it is today. So let's give her a round of applause.
Yes! Okay, so the database can be something of a bit of strife for a lot of agents. Sometimes they're like, I'm so bad at tech, or I don't get it, or, it's overwhelming. So what I like to say is the same tactic that Carla's saying, one new thing at a time. And that is how I implemented these things with Carla's database. And I also want to stress that it is a little bit of a culture shift. If you have a team that is using something else that they're really used to, sometimes people aren't very flexible. And they'll tell you, this is the calendar I use, and this is the calendar that I want to use for the rest of my life, even though it's not connected to an email or anything else. So it's a slow process.
She's talking about Aaron, by the way.
I am talking about Aaron. He's not here, so we can talk a little. So I can talk about the database for years. We can really go into it and have an entire session on it. But I just wanted to show you guys the top 5 implementations that really were game changers for our business. And we're just gonna jump right in. So the first one is the lead flow. And I made these really nice little videos for you. So we use Follow Up Boss as our CRM, but I say the best CRM is the CRM that you use. I don't work for Follow Up Boss, so they all work the same. This is the picture of the lead flow. So leads come in directly into Follow Up Boss. You can see James came in 2 days ago. They can be distributed to realtors on your team so that they each get the leads they need. And then the great thing about it is that they all get an action plan. An action plan right away. They get a text message. Received your inquiry. I'm so happy to chat with you. What's a good time, mornings or evenings? And then you're like, oh, somebody's contacted me right away. Wow. And if they don't respond, they'll get an email drip. And I'll show you later, but Aaron loves to put his face on everything. So we implemented bomb videos into our campaign. People love them. They see your shining face, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So the lead flow is really great. Next are your smart lists. So at the top of Follow Up Boss, you have these little groups. So our database right now has 20,000 people in the database. How are you organizing these people? It is almost impossible unless you make your smart lists. And this dictates your workflow. So you see I've numbered them. 1, today's leads. When you wake up in the morning, this is your workflow. You grab your cup of coffee, you go to smart list number 1, you call today's leads. Then you go to smart list number 2, weekly leads. These are the leads that didn't pick up the phone, they didn't respond, they need a little bit of follow-up. So you go to number 2. Then you go to number 3, to your nurtures. And you're like, okay, let's look at my 30, 60, 90 days. What's going on here? I make smart lists for everything. All of you guys in this room will be in a smart list. Who came to my systems training? You'll all get a bomb video saying thank you for coming at the end. This is not possible unless I have you all organized with tags, with systems. So the smart lists work by filtering. You can filter by last communication, you can filter by tags, you can filter by stages. It is a creative process. You can think about a smart list of everybody that left me a 5-star review. Now I have them all in a group. I can invite them to events. I can send them my newsletter because I know they love me. And in 10 years, they're gonna want me to sell their house again. Okay, so operation checklists. This is what Carla was talking about, putting your workflows on paper. Sometimes agents have those workflows in their head. Sometimes they have them on a piece of paper. Sometimes they have them in Trello. So we didn't have them anywhere. We had them on a Word doc, and so we integrated them into Follow Up Boss. Per stage of the transaction. So now, when the client goes active, you get a checklist on the right-hand side. It tells you what to do at each step of the transaction. So we have lists for when you make an appointment, when the client goes active, when the client goes pending, when they close. Now we can hire an assistant. We don't have to train them. They can just follow the checklist, and it says, client care coordinator does this. Number 1, order of operations. The checklist disappears once you check it off, and then you have at the bottom everything that's been completed. So when I say changing the culture, when Aaron comes to me and says, give me an update on so-and-so, what do I say? Look in Follow Up Boss. Everything is there. You can see notes, what needs to be done, what's been done, and what has been done. So this was a game changer for us. Now, less mistakes happen. When you are selling in high volume, how do you remember what you did for each client? Sometimes Aaron doesn't even remember their name. I'll be like, Susie called. Who's Susie? What? What are you talking about? Who's Susie? You're selling her house. He was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. But when you have 20 clients, how do you keep track of everything in the transaction? It is impossible without this checklist system. So this is really a game changer. Script automations. So sometimes we are new agents or we're in a new niche, okay? And we're a little nervous, we're prospecting, we're like, oh gosh, the script is not, memorized, I don't have it perfect. Now we can do script automation. So in the database, when you tag, this is how I set up triggered with a tag, you can tag them probate script, scripts for your client care coordinator, scripts for your TC, scripts for your assistant. Whatever script you need to pop up with a tag can pop up on the client's page while you're making calls. You can just read it. Read it off to them. You have everything at your feet. You can do this on your mobile app. If you're in the car, you're prospecting. We have someone on our team who's a full-time police officer. He is prospecting in his car all day long. He uses this script automation for almost everything. You can type in notes as you're talking to them in the background. This is really helpful, this background section, because you can put mother passed away, they have a dog, they have 2 cats. There's no way you can remember everyone and everything. The first client that I ever called when I joined the team, Aaron was like, call this lady, ask her for a review. I was like, oh great, she just closed. I called her up, I had FUB open, I had her phone number, I called her and I was like, hey Tammy, congratulations on your closing. She was like, well, my mother died. So it's bittersweet. And I was like, Aaron, you could have had a note somewhere. You could have told me her mother passed away. I would have called her with a different tone. I would have said something different. And so I had to switch gears and say, oh, you know. Okay, so really, if you have a team, if you have people on your staff calling your clients, this is really important to write notes. What you said, why, what's the update, what's their situation, because it's really helpful. Okay, so integrations. This is one of my Instagram reels. If you're not following me on Instagram, I make a fool out of myself. You should really follow me. I'm gonna talk about 2 integrations. So the first one is AM cards. This was a game changer for us because Aaron was selling at such high volume that he would grab a listing, throw it over his shoulder, and never speak to that person again. And there was no relationship forming. So when they hired me, I was the client care coordinator, we got AM cards, and I was so happy because I got to send gifts to everyone. So I would make little cards, I would write little notes. I was like, I hope you're doing great, here's a little treat. And then I would call them, and it's like an endorphin high, right? You call them, they get their gift, and they're so happy. They tell you about the weather, you're now their best friend, and this is how you form relationships with your clients. So we send 3 gifts in the transaction. The first gift is when they sign the listing agreement. I'm so happy we're starting this journey off. I'm glad you're trusting us with your real estate needs. Here is a little treat to start it off. We send them a Starbucks gift card. I don't know about you, but when I get a Starbucks gift card, I am like, yes! I can afford Starbucks, but I don't want to pay that money. So when somebody gives me the opportunity to buy Starbucks, I'm happy. So that's the first gift. The second gift is only if they're stressed out of their mind. They call me every day. They need to chill out. I send them a second gift. It is movie tickets. And I say, I know this is really stressful. Purchasing, selling a home can be very difficult. Chill out. Here are some tickets to go to the movie theater, have a weekend, and relax. And so this really kind of sets the mood, calms them down a little bit. And then the closing, which is like a great accomplishment. We send them brownies. There's Amazon gift cards, Home Depot if you know that they're renovating. You can really tailor it. After this, it is integrated into the workflow to call them for a review. Brian, did you get the brownies I sent you?
Yeah, they were fabulous.
Did you eat them for breakfast?
And lunch and dinner.
Oh my goodness, I'm so happy. I asked him if he would recommend us to friends and family because if he doesn't like me, I'm not gonna send him the link to my review. Once he says, yes, I had a great experience, I loved you guys, I'm gonna send him the link to my review and that is going to build my online persona. Guys, when people search for you, they're searching on Google. They look for your reviews. If you have 2 reviews, if you have 5 reviews. Aaron has something like 500. It makes a difference. It's because I am calling all the clients and asking them for a review after brownies.
If they like us.
If they like us.
Not everyone's gonna like you.
Not everybody's gonna like you. Bomb Bomb. This is what I was talking about. Aaron is putting his face in the emails, in the email campaigns. He's saying very simple things. Just want to put a face to the name. This is Aaron Novello. I'm so excited to meet you in person. Sometimes we never meet people in person. We do a lot of probates. So we call people in New York. Their mother passed away in Florida. We never see them. So these videos were a game changer. People love them. After every single touch, Aaron sends a bomb video. After every single touch that I do, after this event, you will get a bomb video, probably with Carla's dog. Ah, thank you for coming. But that's the difference between a stagnant email that says thank you for coming and somebody's face telling you.
I have a question. Is BombBomb like an application, or is it like...
It's a third-party integration.
Okay.
So I integrate it into Follow Up Boss so that it's in the email kind of module.
Okay.
So you can click on it and your camera will pop up. And then you can shoot the video right there, insert it in the video, or you can choose one from your library.
Okay.
You can also put YouTube videos into your emails, which will have kind of like a little clip, like the thumbnail of your video. So some people do that. But the BombBomb is an animated GIF. So when people open the email, they'll see Aaron waving like, "Arr!" And that's kind of what makes the difference.
Yeah.
A lot of times people want me to go through their business, help them with their follow-up boss. So this is my link. If you want to set up a call with me, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you might have. And if you don't use follow-up boss, that's okay. You can ask me about the CRM that you're using. And so
Hire her, guys. She's worth every
Yep, I
penny.
agree.
Thank you, Brian.
yeah, I did Brian's, Betty's, Sonia's, Sasha's, Camila's follow-up boss. And honestly, if we do the call, I can show you how to set it up yourself. Really, it's not hard. It just takes a little bit of time. And sometimes people are like, I really don't have time, and I just want you to do it. Do it for me. So yes, I also want to make a note with this Calendly link and calendars and the story I had about Aaron with his calendar before. If you are not using a calendar, if you do not have appointments in your calendar and you are looking every single morning and saying, what do I have today to do? This is key for your business and for your staff, right? So your staff is going to see where you are at all times, when they can book things for you, when they can grab you for a meeting. If you're not using a calendar, I really stress it upon your business to find either a Google Calendar, there's a calendar in FUB that links to your Google Calendar, or your Microsoft Calendar. Who here is using a calendar with appointments in it? You, Brian!
What do you mean with appointments?
Okay, so your appointment. So when you set appointments for your clients, are you putting them in your calendar?
Yes.
Okay, and you're following your calendar every morning. And you see Aaron's calls. You know when you have a call with Aaron in your calendar.
Yes.
Okay, so you're fine. Okay. All right, I'm gonna hand it back to Carla. She's gonna talk about the last S. Scale. Scale.
Okay, so number one is email templates. Everything can have an email template. Before the appointment, introducing yourself. After the appointment, saying thank you with the BombBomb video. After you take the listing, letting them know what's gonna happen. After it goes pending, letting them know what's gonna happen. It's always the same. So there's no reason to write it every single time. It can live in your CRM, and it saves so much time and just brain power.
Gmail, you can make templates too if you
That's
don't
true.
have a CRM.
That's true, we learned that. Yes, I'll reach out to me and I can send you a video on how to do it.
Interesting. Thank you.
You're welcome. Number two is evergreen videos. These are videos that you make once and you can use them over and over and over. So this is great for training. This is how I input a listing. This is how I do a CMA. If your staff goes on vacation and someone else needs to fill in, they can use the video. If your staff leaves, which they do, you can train the next person. And also for the drip. So after something closes, you might have a drip that has BombBomb videos, just kind of giving them, you know, generic information. You do it once and you have it forever. And people reach out from the drip and we're like, where'd this come from? Oh, it's from the drip. So it works. Number 3 is packets. Pre-listing packet is just so valuable because you can have all your frequently asked questions on there and it saves you time. When you go into that appointment, they know about you, they know what you look like, they have most of their questions answered, and it's easier to get contracts signed, which is the name of the game. And then the drip campaigns, which I kind of already talked about. But like she said, putting BombBomb videos in there makes them super specialized and people will open them more if they see your face and they see you waving at them.
And I will just add that we took the campaigns from Follow Up Boss and we just tweaked them.
Yes, there's lots of campaigns already in there and you can make them tailored to you and your personality and your niche. So definitely do that. And this is a fun slide. It looks so realistic, right? So
You saw that?
I cut Aaron's head and
You
just put
really
it on
made
someone
it.
else's body.
That's hilarious.
So what everybody wants to do at the end of the day is we don't want to sell real estate till we're 80. There's got to be a point of exiting out, okay? We all start here, the starting point. Then we build, we get the skills, we get better at what we do, and we start getting transactions. We start making money. Then we lead, we hire people. We have to train them, we have to manage them. Then we have to exit eventually, okay? So this is the part where I struggled with for a long time. It's probably 10 years that I was kind of like, I don't want to do this anymore. I was burnt out, okay? So it took the right vehicle for me to see a way out. And that's what we're going to talk to you guys about because it ties in with financial freedom. Financial freedom means that you're getting residual income without having to work. And we always invested. We always lived way below our means. So we had a start, but this vehicle that I'm going to talk to you about kind of painted the vision and made it actually a reality, like soon, which is exciting.
Isn't EXP a scam? I'm curious because you guys are both powerful humans and like powerful agents. Was that your first inclination too? Like, man, this is a scam.
No, I never thought it was a scam.
Okay.